Hey Hanz family, and welcome to HANZOWEEN. HANZOWEEN is 31 tutorials in the month of October, so that means a new tutorial every single day. Today's video is going to be a collab with my amazing friend Alex Faction. He did Chucky and I did his Bride. For this Bride of Chucky, I wanted to do something a little different, and so Alex and I were kind of brainstorming and we came up with a few awesome ideas, and he was like, look what you're beat up. So this story is that my Bride of Chucky, they went on a rampage trying to kill people, and the person I tried to kill fought back and bruised me up a little bit, but I still got away. It's all good, it's all good. As always, all product details will be listed down below, and let's get to the tutorial. I'm going to really quick just speed through my foundation and contour routine, just because I've done this in pretty much every other tutorial and I didn't want you guys to have to sit through this again. So just do this as normal like you would. We do want to warm up her face just a little bit, and I'm focusing more on my jaw because she has a very intense small little chin and jaw. She also has these creepy little smile lines because she has this creepy little devilish smile on her face all the time, so we want to accentuate those. And then add in her little dimples because her little dimples are very iconic to her face. Just find a sweet spot on your face that looks like where you would have dimples, since I don't have any, and if you already have dimples, then you're already good. Start out very soft and then darken it as you go until you find the desired effect of dimple that you want. She does have a very small, little defined nose, so I am going to bring this contour shade along the sides of my nose to make it look a little slimmer, and then kind of trying to make the tip of my nose look a little higher up and pointier. So I blocked out my brows, and I originally wasn't going to do this. I would suggest doing this before your foundation if you are going to, but her eyebrows are so intense that I had to. So I'm using House of Lashes lash glue, which doesn't have any latex in it, just to push down my eyebrows. But use a glue stick, like the Elmer's glue stick, but I didn't have one, so this kind of worked for me. Then set it with a little bit of translucent powder, and then you're going to just layer it on again. If you are a little scared to do this, then I recommend do not do this, but I have done this a couple times now, and the eyelash glue does come off very easily in the shower with hot water. Let it dry, and then powder it again, and then we are going to go in with a powder of our skin color, and cover it with that, and then cover it with a little bit more of cream makeup, and I'm really pushing the makeup into my brows. Not the best brow application, but you know, it is what it is. And then bring your contour shade down into your brows a little bit just to have a cohesive look on your face. With a little bit of Aquabrow, I am going to draw in, well, accentuate my little beauty mark I have going on, because she has a really big one, and then I'm going to draw on her intense little chola brows. Man, these were the fucking brows of envy when I was young. I'm from Albuquerque, so them chola brows were all over, and I wished I could have chola brows every fucking day. Prime your eyes with a little bit of primer potion. This is from Urban Decay. You could use whichever primer of your choice. And then we're going to start using the Morphe 35C palette. This palette is awesome. It has a lot of colorful matte shades. So I'm using the lightest tone, which is near my skin tone, just to start with a base eyeshadow to blend on top of, and then using a very light red that's in the palette to start my transition shade. I am putting this all over the crease of my eye and then blending it upwards into my skin color and darkening it as I go. She has this very intense kind of red and dark maroon and black smoky eye. So we just want to keep adding colors and blending them out until we have a nice seamless blend. I'm even switching to an E45 small tapered blending brush to really get into that crease with the darker colors. Draw a little wing of eyeliner on the top of your eye. I mean, that's little for me because I do some really big wing liner. I'm like Amy Winehouse up in here. And then I'm going to pop on these two lashes from NYX stacked on the top. And then I'm going to actually just bring in a little more of the black shadow into the inner corner of my eye because I kind of looked at the reference picture and realized she had eyeliner and eyeshadow everywhere. Starting off with a little matte eyeshadow from Morphe, and then I am just adding in some cream makeup, mixing the red and brown together with a little stippling brush, and stippling the color all around that kind of impact point. Basically, if you were hit in the face right there, which my Bride of Chucky was, she was trying to kill someone, they fought back, she got hit right in that cheekbone. So we are going to keep that kind of open and then focus most of those broken blood vessels around the point of impact. Make this really patchy and messy. I am mixing in more colors from the Morphe eyeshadow palette, which are red, a little mix of blues, some browns, because we want our bruise to look super messy. Bruises aren't cohesive. I mean, they are literally you getting hit in the face or wherever, so make them messy. I am also deciding to do a little bit on my forehead as well, and I want her skin to look super, super irritated. If you were getting hit in the face, kicked in the face, whichever, I'm pretty sure your skin wouldn't be too happy with you. For her lips, I'm using LA Splash Venom Liquid Lipstick. I couldn't find my black weirdo lipstick from Jeffree Star, unfortunately, so this will have to do. And I'm putting that all over the bottom lip and just on one side of my top lip. I wanted her to have a busted lip, so I'm just putting a little bit of latex with my finger on the top of my lip to make it look like the skin had been torn. Just like I did in my Zombie Peach tutorial, I wanted to add more latex on the tips of the skin where my skin would be kind of torn and hanging off, just so that it gave the illusion that that was my actual skin that had been torn into. Let that dry a little bit, and then we're going to powder it with the powder of our own skin color, and then add on a little bit of cream makeup on top. Cream makeup is my favorite to use on top of latex. It sticks to latex really, really well. Make the skin look a little irritated with a little bit of red eyeshadow, and then start pulling that ish up. Make it look really imperfect and like our skin had just been ripped open because we just got punched in the face. Using a little bit more red and brown cream makeup mixed together, I am going to make the skin look a little more irritated and then add in Ben Nye's Fresh Scab Blood underneath where we had our torn skin. Like in my intro, she had her cigarette, she just got in a fight, she's tired, so we want our mouth to look scabbed over a little bit because the blood has dried just a little bit, so I'm adding lots of little scabs around the mouth and lots of blood that has dried, and even a little blood into the nose that's dried a little bit. With NARS Taos Blush, I love this color so much, and I dropped it, I am going to put this, woo, that's super pigmented, all over the apples of my cheeks. Well, just one cheek. Just for a little more texture, I am going to put a little bit of scab blood loosely around my face and pat it out with my finger. This isn't realistic per se, but it just does give a cool texture that I enjoyed. Tiffany has some big O boobage, so we are going to contour our chest so that our boobs are nice and large and in charge. This is with the Anastasia Contour Kit in Fair, and my trusty Morphe G30 brush. She wears this fancy leather jacket, and I decided I did want to paint it on instead of wearing one, so I'm just using Mehron Makeup's Paradise Paint in Black just to completely fill in where my leather jacket is going to be. These are water-activated paints, so just add a little bit of water, and they become nice and creamy and ready to put on your skin. With a little bit of white, and since this is going straight onto black paint, this will turn a little gray, which is totally fine. We don't want a super intense, stark white onto the black. I'm going to start drawing out our zippers, our buttons, and where the little collar of the leather jacket is. Using Krylon's Clown White paint, this is a cream paint, I am going to start doing highlights all over this jacket. If you have not done a piece of clothing before, I would suggest looking at a reference picture, but I've done a decent amount of clothing pieces on canvas and on my body enough to know that where some little wrinkles and stuff would be on the fabric, but the essential idea behind it is just adding little highlights to where the leather would catch the light from a light source. The leather jacket would have some little wrinkles in the collar, definitely a big highlight on the shoulders. You just want to focus on thinking about where the light would be hitting certain parts. Little parts of the buttons would be kind of highlighted too, along with the edges of the collar, since the collar is technically higher up than the rest of the jacket. Use a little bit of bright white body paint from Mehron just to really highlight the buttons and highlight a few portions around the zipper and around the collar itself. You don't want this to end up looking like a big gray muddled mess, so I'm going back in with a little more black body paint to really intensify some of the shadows, because doing that will make your highlights pop out more. When it comes to the metal pieces of the jacket, make sure those are extremely dimensional, because metal is metal, so it catches tons of light and tons of shadow. And now let's see if I could drink my magical coffee with a busted lip. Nope. Nope. That's why I wait to do my lips last. Nope. I'm just going to fix a few spots here with a very small brush and some black body paint to really add in a few more of the shadows and to really make sure the collar is completely separate from the jacket itself. With Sugar Pill's Taco eyeshadow, this is a matte white eyeshadow, I just want to set some of that cream paint. If you are going to be wearing this out, you definitely need to set this because it is cream paint, so it can move. Like I've done in every single other tutorial where I've drawn on some kind of clothing, I am going to add a shadow from the clothing that casts onto my skin. This is Mocha eyeshadow from Makeup Geek, and you guys should know by now that this is my absolute all-time favorite eyeshadow for doing shadows that blend onto my skin color. Tiffany has this cute little heart tattoo on her boobage, a little tit tat, and it does actually say Chucky on top, but I decided to X-nay that. I mean, I am an independent woman. I don't need no man. And then I'm just putting a little bit of face powder on top of that so that it looks like the tattoo is actually under the skin. Give me a second while I pop in my contacts. And this, you guys, is our bruised, kind of messed up Bride of Chucky. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you do recreate it, please use the hashtag HANZOWEEN. I want to see it. You guys are awesome. Please subscribe and make sure to check out Alex's video, and I will see you guys tomorrow.